1930 brought together a unique family of 7 brothers, 2 retired and 5 serving Madras sappers.
I am from family of Madras sappers. My father was also Madras sapper. My 2 brothers also Madras sapper. I am captain, honorary captain Logamuthu, also from Madras, and we are very proud of Madras sappers.
Battle honours tell the story of this unity and esprit de corps, and how it has fared in the field of fire. More than this, it is the individual instances and decorations that highlight the heroism of these men.
This is the Chokalingam medal. It is a specially crafted individual medal, the first honor ever to be conferred on an Indian soldier.
Awarded to Havildar Chokalingam of the Madras sappers and miners for the display of extraordinary courage in the battle for Kurg in April 1834. Meeni, Sindh, 1843. The Cheshire Regiment of British soldiers is facing fire. Seeing their predicament, though armed only with fusil and bayonet, the Madras sappers rush to their aid and join their charge. The day is saved, and the British laud their display of courage and comradeship by exchanging their shakos, their caps, with the sappers. That British shako is the forebear of this dupta.
Even today, it remains to be a distinctive headgear of the soldier of the Madras sapper. This is no decoration, this is no battle honor, yet it remains to be the token of appreciation for the greatest bravery in the battlefield.
The invention of the Bangalore torpedo, the brainchild of Major R.N. McClintock, is another example of sapper ingenuity at work. This iron tube of adjustable length, filled with explosive, was invented to breach barbed wire defenses and is now the standard device for this sort of job. Today, it is a part of military glossary worldwide. In the 2 world wars, the Madras sappers covered themselves with glory and were active in many theatres. At the beginning of the First World War in 1914, the Madras sappers numbered 2,000 men on their rolls. By the close of it in 1918, there were 10,000 strong. Number 2 Field Troop was dispatched to France as part of the 1st Cavalry Division of the Indian Corps, where they created a stir with their Gwalior Tongas. While the most momentous achievement was the crossing of the Tigris at Shumran. In the Second World War, the Madras sappers fought in all theatres and consistently developed new skills to meet the new challenges in the conduct of war. They handled mines, built booby traps, bridged fast-flowing rivers and operated ferries on them. 12 Field Company and 11 Field Park Company were part of the 4th Indian Division and fought in the desert campaign against the Italians. For his cool courage in handling the newly introduced mines, the company Havildar Major of 12 Field Company, later Major Sampangi Raju, was awarded the Indian Order of Merit.
May 1942, 61 Field Company went to the desert, and immediately by that time Rommel had broken through Bir Hakeem, and we were told to take up a position, the brigade, 25 Infantry Brigade, position south of Tobruk. That was one major job there, to put the defenses there, particularly the mines, etc. And as soon as the Germans broke through, they came charging through and attacked our position, but then recoiled back. The last I saw was the Battle of Tobruk starting around about the 10th of June, and we were pulled out to set up a rear guard position at a place called Solum. 10 Infantry Division, that's my division, was doing rear guard action all the way from Tobruk right up to Masamatru.
In December 43, the 4th Indian Division, under the command of the 5th US Army, took part in the siege and capture of Casino. Under direct enemy fire, the 61 Field Company of the Madras sappers constructed a Bailey bridge across a river in high flood. For this act of conspicuous gallantry, Subedar Thangaraju was awarded the American Silver Star. With the 11th Field Park Company in Migano in Italy, Subedar Subramaniam led a breaching party into a minefield to rescue an EME-JCO. Realizing that an anti-personnel mine was about to explode, the Subedar hurled himself on it and absorbed the explosion. For this, he was awarded the George Cross, Britain's highest decoration for bravery, not in the face of the enemy. In the eastern sector, 58th Field Company of the Madras Sappers, a part of the 36th Indian Division, engaged the main Japanese attack in February 1945. Carrying infantrymen, arms and equipment across the Shweli River under heavy enemy fire, Lieutenant Rajwade won the Military Cross on the spot, the first Indian sapper officer to be so decorated. 1947, 15th August. At the stroke of the midnight hour, India wins her independence from British rule. And immediately, in this new-fledged democracy, the Madras sappers are pressed into action. Pakistani irregulars invade the Kashmir Valley in a bid to wrest it, and a long battle begins. Roadblocks, ambushes, blowing of bridges, making of roads. All these are daily actions for the brave sappers. In one such engagement, Dhobi Ramchandar of 14th Field Company, breaking away from the role of a non-combatant, picks up a rifle and keeps the enemy at bay. Later, he helps a wounded British soldier to a post 8 miles away. Dhobi Ramchandar wins a Mahavir Chakra, the first civilian to be so honored. Zojila, the site of an impressive sapper achievement. 11,500 feet, blizzards, freezing cold, and a hail of enemy bullets. Braving all this, Major Thangaraju and his team accomplished the almost impossible task of making a tankable road where there was only a yak track. Using 25 tons of explosive per mile, working 650 yards from the enemy, this was the sappers at their best. This accomplishment was commended by none other than General Thimayya, who called it a record in any operation. Zojila is the first battle honor won by the Madras sappers after independence. Naib Subedar Thangavelu was awarded the Veer Chakra. 15 years pass, and once again the sappers are pressed into action in the high Himalayas. This time, it is the Chinese aggression of 1962. And once again, it is the sappers to the fore. Building roads and constructing airfields. Chushul Airfield was constructed on top priority by the sappers. In southwest Ladakh, in Pangong So, during the intense fighting of October 1962, while ferrying stores to infantry soldiers and finally evacuating them was a sapper task. Nayak Raghavan of 36th Field Company braved the enemy fire and went about with the motorboat single-handedly to extract the remnant of 1-8 Gorkha Rifle soldiers across the Pangong Lake. He was awarded the Veer Chakra. In 1965 operations against Pakistan, 14 and 65 Field Companies of Madras sappers supported the advance of one armored division. They laid mines, breached minefields, and developed tracks for passage of A and B vehicles. In another sector, Lieutenant Chandrasekharan Nair was awarded the Veer Chakra for continuing laying mines under enemy fire. The ability of the Madras sappers to provide mobility to a modern army was fully tested in the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. The Madras sappers displayed their absolute preparedness for war in both the eastern and the western theatres. In the east, the war was fought in Bangladesh, a riverine country with antiquated bridges and bad road network. It taxed the imagination of sappers and brought out their crowning asset, improvisation. 3 Engineer Regiment constructed small-span Bailey bridges over numerous rivulets, whereas 4 Engineer Regiment used local steamers to ferry tanks, guns and vehicles across the river Meghna. 11 Engineer Regiment undertook extensive mine breaching, road repair and launching of bridges. 13 Engineer Regiment converted 16 miles of railway track into a Class 40 road. 15 Engineer Regiment provided effective support in heliborne operations across the river Meghna. In the western sector, notable bravery was displayed by Major V.R. Chaudhary of 9 Engineer Regiment, who through personal example exhorted his men to clear and mark the minefield across Basanta River, allowing Poona Horse to meet the enemy armor attack. He was awarded Mahavir Chakra posthumously. Captain R.N. Gupte and Naib Subedar Durai Swami of the same regiment were awarded Veer Chakra. In another sector, Major V.K. Bhaskar of 7 Engineer Regiment earned the Veer Chakra for his initiative and courage by walking across a minefield to determine its extent. The 1971 Indo-Pakistan War spoke volumes about the sappers. It proved to be decisive in India's victory. Hence, it is also called an engineer's war. Siachen. For over 20 blustery, shivering years, India and Pakistan have been fighting a war in the world's highest battlefield, the 20,000 feet high Siachen Glacier. In 1984, 8 Engineer Regiment of Madras Sappers was the first sapper unit to provide support by constructing accommodation, making tracks and bridges along the glacier. Other regiments followed. 12 Engineer Regiment received the Chief of Army Staff's unit citation. 8 Engineer Regiment supported 54 Infantry Division in Jaffna in Sri Lanka in 1987. They remained there till the end. 3 and 4 Engineer Regiments were also inducted. Captain B.N.N. Rao and Lieutenant A.S. Bedi were awarded Veer Chakra for their courage and bravery in the face of continuous and heavy militant fire. (1989) saw a surge of militancy in the Kashmir Valley. Madras sappers were used not only to give support, but also to chase and nab the infiltrators. 5 Engineer Regiment earned the Chief of Army Staff's unit citation. In early May 1999, widespread infiltration along the line of actual control in Kargil sector came to light. 2 Engineer Regiment, integral to 3 Infantry Division, was immediately mobilized, establishing an advanced tactical headquarters at Kargil. Perched on the hilltops, the enemy had placed mines along the approaches leading to their positions. The sappers were tough. The Madras sappers won the trophy for the best marching contingent. They have repeated the feat many times over since then. The man behind the stupendous success is Subedar Major and Honorary Captain R. Govindaswamy, Vishisht Seva Medal. The Madras sappers have always taken their sports and games seriously. Today, this has paid rich dividends. The Madras sappers have produced 10 Olympians, 8 Arjuna awardees, and have won the Chief of Army Staff Sports Trophy 7 times, with the fastest Indian athlete and swimmer being Madras sappers. Adventure sports too are a part of the sappers' repertoire. In the Trishna sailing expedition, the sailboat Trishna that sailed around the globe was skippered by Lieutenant Colonel, now Lieutenant General K.S. Rao. Madras sappers have also sent a number of officers and men on the Antarctica expedition.
Adventure and sapper tasks go hand in hand. In fact, in every sapper task there is a challenge, and overcoming that challenge is an adventure by itself. We have numerous examples: establishing a crossing across a river in the mountains. We have such very fast flowing rivers in the Himalayas, or carrying out snow clearance operations across the passes where visibility is restricted. You have snow blizzards, avalanches, landslides, where identifying the alignment of the road itself is a major problem. Or for that matter, constructing a track in the deserts, especially when there is a sandstorm, the visibility is restricted to a few meters ahead. The more courageous acts are rescuing individuals who are stranded in a minefield. All such tasks are done by Madras sappers in a spirit of adventure. There is a challenge, and without blinking an eyelid, the Thambi just accepts the and overcomes the challenge.
What makes the sapper such a winner on and off the battlefield? The answer lies not just in the esprit de corps that binds all sappers together, but also in their training. The men, after recruitment, undergo a basic military training of 19 weeks at the center. Physical training, weapon training, drill, fieldcraft and assault course training is all part of this course. In the next 22 weeks of training at the Chief Instructor Fieldworks, their combat engineering skills are honed. Mine laying and demolitions, the construction and dismantling of both improvised and equipment bridges. All this is a part of this training. This training culminates at the Chief Instructor workshops, where the recruit acquires hands-on skills in an allotted engineering trade. On 20th March 1990, the then President of India, His Excellency Sri R. Venkataraman, presented colours to the Madras sappers, commemorating over 200 years of a rich and colourful history. Madras sappers have been fortunate to have some outstanding senior officers guide them towards the path of glory. They are the brilliant Colonel Commandants of the Madras sappers. At the apex of the Corps of Engineers is the Engineer-in-Chief. Madras sappers who made it to this appointment are Today, the Madras sappers stand tall and proud. From 2 companies of 100 men each in 1780, it has grown to 23 engineer regiments, 2 territorial army units, 2 engineer plant units, 1 engineer bridge unit, 2 independent engineer squadrons, 1 assault engineer squadron, 2 bomb disposal companies, and 1 engineer stores platoon. These are undoubtedly comparable with the best anywhere in the world. A proud and long-standing tradition of military excellence, professional competence, and courage under fire. Winners in the playing field and warriors in the battlefield. A concern for his fellow soldier and his fellow countrymen.